if we had right from the very beginning shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different. But there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
That one statement by Anthony Fauci during his interview with Jake Tapper has led to some concerns that Donald Trump is genuinely thinking about firing him because what he said apparently hurt his feelings so much. Now, what he said there was the truth. And it was based on pretty detailed reporting regarding how Donald Trump was warned about the pandemic as early as January, and he didn't take action. Had he taken action, clearly we would have been better prepared for the pandemic and we would have saved more lives. And so when Trump saw that exchange, he didn't like it, and apparently others didn't like it either. But I want to give you more context. So let's take a look at more of the video, and then I'll tell you what Trump recently did, which sort of hints that he's considering getting rid of Fauci. Take a look.
Do you think lives could have been saved if social distancing, physical distancing, stay-at-home measures had started third week of February instead of mid-March?
You know, Jake, again, it's the what would have, what could have. It's very difficult to go back and say that. I mean, obviously, you could logically say that if you had a process that was ongoing and you started mitigation earlier, you could have saved lives. Obviously, no one is going to deny that. But what goes into those kinds of decisions is complicated. But you're right. I mean, obviously, if we had right from the very beginning shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different. But there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
And if you look at the fuller context of that discussion, it's so clear that Fauci is doing his best to be careful, to not place any blame on the Trump administration, because there are two things that'll get you fired by Donald Trump. Number one, if you agree with him too well and people think that you're better than Trump or more popular than Trump and you take the shine away from Trump, you're going to get fired. And then, of course, number two, if you disagree with Trump in any way, even slightly publicly, he'll try to get rid of you. So he retweeted, Trump did, someone else's tweet where they used the hashtag Fire Fauci. Okay, the person who did the original tweet is Deanna Lorraine. She was a former congressional candidate. She ran against Nancy Pelosi. She's a Republican, clearly. And she wrote, Fauci is now saying that had Trump listened to the medical experts earlier, he could have saved more lives. Fauci was telling people on February 29th that there was nothing to worry about and it posed no threat to the U.S. public at large. Time to fire Fauci. Now, he did not say that. Of course, that's made up. But of course, Donald Trump did retweet that with a quote saying, sorry, fake news. It's all on tape. I banned China long before people spoke up. Thank you to own. So, Cenk, jump in. Are you concerned that Fauci's a goner?
Oh, of course I'm concerned. So, and now the White House is putting out statements saying, oh, look, it's fake news that we're firing Fauci. I don't know where anybody got that idea. It's all the reporter's fault for trying to stir up controversy here. I don't know where we got that idea. I don't know, maybe when the president tweeted, fire Fauci? I mean, and look, to be extra fair, I looked at that tweet that Anna just read you. I found it as soon as the story broke. And I thought, well, let me see. Maybe fire Fauci was like a little hashtag at the bottom, which it is. You see the hashtag at the bottom. And then the rest of the message was about something else, and Trump missed it because he tweets like 70 tweets an hour, and he just, oh yeah, retweet, and he missed it, right? No, the whole tweet was all about it's Fauci's fault, and we should fire Fauci. So if I retweeted something that said hashtag fire Kasparian,
people would not like that. People would be very upset. They would reconsider supporting TYT very strongly.
Okay. So first of all, obviously I'd be decapitated. But second of all, that's not a thing that you do like and go, oh, whatever. No, that's really, really serious. And everybody would take it seriously. They'd be like, wow, why did Cenk say that? Is he thinking about doing that? That's crazy. Of course he's thinking about it. That's why he retweeted it. See, I feel like we constantly have conversations with somebody who just escaped from a mental asylum. You're like, we're having a conversation about it because you said it. No, I didn't. You're fake. Okay, I mean, so
No, it's crazy.
I know
We're all being gaslit 24/7. By the way, by both sides, but certainly by the Trump administration.
100%. So, and Dr. Fauci did say one thing wrong in that Jake Tapper interview. He said, look, could we have done more and saved more lives? I don't think anybody would dispute that. Are you nuts? Of course, there's one guy who would dispute it. His name is Donald J. Trump. He disputes it every single day. No, I take no responsibility at all. We've handled this amazing. That's why our country doesn't have that many cases. That's what he used to say all the time. Now we lead the world in number of cases and number of deaths. And he's still saying, I wouldn't have done anything differently. No, he's a total moron. Of course he disputes that he did anything wrong, because the narcissist in chief would never, ever admit to doing something wrong. Look, no, madman is in charge. And soon, if Fauci continues to be correct like this, of course his job is in danger.
Yeah, I'm terrified because Fauci is, I think Dr. Deborah Birx has done a fine job, but I think that Fauci is less willing to, side. So Dr. Birx, there were a few times where I feel like she tried to help Trump cover things up. I don't have the specific examples in front of me. We've talked about them on the show previously, but Dr. Anthony Fauci never does that. I haven't seen a single instance of him doing that. He's very fact-based. He gets to the point. He gets put in awkward situations where people are trying to possibly instigate and they're asking about Trump's failures. And Fauci, again, has to toe that line. But he's never, as far as I've seen, he hasn't misrepresented anything. The one area of disagreement where Fauci was wrong and Trump was right was early on when Trump actually wanted to implement the travel ban on China specifically. Now, health experts, not just Fauci, believe that that would not actually help in stopping the spread of the virus because, for instance, when people hear that there might be some sort of travel ban, they might flee the country or, try to travel before that ban is implemented, and it causes more problems. But in the end, it would have actually been smart to do that, and Fauci came around. But after that, I mean, everything that he said is factual, and we desperately do need that adult in the room who clearly states that it is too soon to lift any guidelines on social distancing. It's something that Trump's been flirting with nonstop. And I'm worried that without the Faucis in the room, Trump is going to give into, his worst instincts and encourage people to go out and work and expose themselves to this virus.
The New York Times earlier story that explained that eventually Trump did that ban on people coming in from China, that was pushed by the hawks inside the administration, partly as a shot at China, like, ha, we banned you. Now, world's worst reason to do a ban. As it turned out, that was okay. So, I guess with the benefit of hindsight, I probably would have done it too, but medical experts are really split on whether those work. That's the least important part. The most important part is huge amounts of testing. That's how they contained it in South Korea. That's every scientist agrees. Because if you have a lot of testing, then you know who's got it as quickly as possible. You isolate them. You find out who they were in contact with and try to make sure that they stay at home. That's a much more efficient way to get control of the virus. What Trump did instead was, all right, I banned people from coming from China. It's now taken care of. No, it's not taken care of, you idiot. You can't just say, oh, okay, if they can't come here from China, then obviously it can't come here. It was already here by the time he did that. The first case was on January 21st, and he did the ban at the end of January. It's the least effective way of mitigating. In fact, it's not a mitigation technique. It's an attempt at containment, and it doesn't work. So it's not a bad thing to try, but it's like the first step. You have to do the other steps that are much more important. So The reason I tell you all that is, one, because it's important for you to know and how to combat this, but two, so when you hear Trump talking about, no, I did a travel ban on China, so I did everything I needed to. That's not remotely true. He should have ordered the test. We still don't have enough tests. We have 583,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in America, and we barely tested anyone. Imagine how many cases we'd have and how much better we could contain if we actually, and mitigate, if we actually had the tests. They should be everywhere. And by the way, we could reopen America more efficiently if you have more tests, because then we could contain the people who have the virus and let others go outside. But the schmuck keeps thinking if you ignore the problem, it'll go away. That's why we shouldn't have a schmuck as a president.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.